Hello everyone, and here we are with another deck spotlight. Today the spotlight is on Jade Chemical Warriors. So here is your basic Jade Chemical Warrior deck. Jade, Laser, Chem, Wheel, Bike, Scorpion, and Banshee. I think this is one of the stronger decks in Rivals right now. I would put it as a tier 1 deck. One of the main things that holds it back is the use of Chemical Warriors as an epic. This makes it harder to use on ladder because epics generally level up slower. So yeah, it's difficult to play this deck with low level Chem Warriors, unfortunately, but if you do have high level Chem Warriors, I think this is an excellent deck. So let's take a look at some of the variations in the deck. The first one is simply replacing the Banshee with the Phantom. This makes you stronger against one of your weakest matchups, which is the Bomber decks, Inferno and Phantom, but it makes you weaker to things like Giga and MLRS and things of that nature, because you no longer have an air to ground unit. It also just means if you get behind in a tank war, it's harder to catch up, stuff like that. The other variation I want to show you is one that Praetor Pyro has been playing. It's more of an air-based deck, so this is like an air Chemical Warrior deck. This one uses the Venom Banshee combo as a large part of the deck, which is very strong right now. Venom Banshee combo is really good, can kill almost anything. The weakness of this deck is that you are a lot weaker to someone spamming tanks, I believe, that sort of thing, and heavier infantry than you have, because you have so much anti-infantry and not that much anti-vehicle. But it is stronger in the early game, where because you can use your militants instead of your wheels early on. One of the main issues the Jade Chemical Warrior deck has is that in the early game you're quite weak to laser squads because it costs a lot to tech switch into Chemical Warriors from the War Factory opening of the wheels. Okay, so let's take a look at what the deck is strong and weak versus. So one of the things the deck is quite strong against is general setup units. So the artillery and the MLRS, things that need to set up and then pack away to move. These cannot dodge the Catalyst Missile. So you can just take these out very easily with a Catalyst Missile whenever you want, just before the missile fires. Juggernaut as well goes into this, and Machine Gun a little bit. It's very inefficient to kill a Machine Gun with a Catalyst Missile, but if you've done it right before the missile fires, it can be very strong. One of the other things that Jade Chems is very strong against is the Tech Lab and the Temple of Nod. This is one of the main reasons to play a Chemical Warrior deck. If your opponent plays Tech, they will normally lose the first missile because they go 2 Harvesters. After they go 2 Harvesters and lose the first missile, you can simply put 2 Chemical Warriors on their base and Catalyst Missile it. And with the 2 Warriors plus 3 Clouds of Explosion, you'll do half their base damage. So after they lose the first missile, because they have 2 Harvesters and less pop cap than you, you can just go and blow up their base. That's one of the main reasons to play the Jade deck, is the strength against Tech. Alright, so let's talk about the weaknesses a little bit. One of the weaknesses of the Jade deck is actually just other Jade decks. In a Jade mirror, your Chemical Warriors can become quite a big liability because it's easy for your opponent to Catalyst Missile your Chem Warriors and get an explosion off of them. So the Jade mirror can get very complicated, especially if your opponent doesn't even play chemicals. They're just abusing yours. That can be very bad. The other weaknesses are tier 2 anti-infantry units. So things like Venom, Drone Swarm Shatterer, Chemical Buggy, anything that kills infantry quickly. Your infantry is very expensive because it costs 60, it's Chemical Warriors. So losing expensive infantry like this over and over can be a really big hit. And the biggest weakness of the deck is Inferno and Borka, or just generally the Bomber decks. These are very, very strong against Chemical Warriors because, again, your Chemical Warriors cost so much, and these things just sweep them up. It's very hard for your opponent not to get value. Your deck is very, very strong on the ground with the Scorpion tank and the Chemical Warriors, but it's a little bit weaker in the air, and this is one of the reasons you might want to play a Phantom variation instead. Alright, so having discussed what the deck is strong and weak against, let's go and take a look at some games.
New objective received. Building.
Alright, so we're going to open wheels because our barracks only has chem troopers for anti-infantry, which costs 60. It's way too expensive, so you have to open wheels with this deck, really. Let's see what our opponent's up to. Okay, not doing anything. So we're just going to charge the missile. Wait and see what he does next. Spikes. Alright, so we're going to go straight into a tank. And we'll send the wheels to intercept in case he makes another bike squadron. Alright, lasers. We're going to go double wheels for the lasers. I'm going to try and snipe the bikes. Nope, where are you going, tank? This one. There we go. Alright, so we get double wheels on his lasers. Then we're going to need another tank for his tank. We get a 2v1, kill his tank pretty easily. Gonna be in a little bit of trouble here. Need to go into chems. Don't know if they're gonna get there in time. Nope, doesn't look like it. This is one of the weaknesses. Oh, hello, he left my wheels on the top pad though, that's a big deal. That buys me a lot of time. Alright, let's kill these. Oh, buggy, that's not good. Come on, kill the bike! Oh, this is one of the weaknesses of the deck. You don't have a cheap answer to lasers, so it takes you a really, really long time to fight lasers. You have to save up for like 90 Tiberium to get an answer to lasers. Alright, he's also playing chems. Interesting. Wow, that's a lot of lasers. Banshee. We got our own Banshee to fight his Banshee. Try and block him off his pad. No, we didn't get it. Send the tank up there. Right, he walked off the pad for some reason, so that's cool. So we take that missile. Get another Banshee for his Banshee. Go after this buggy. Alright, we'll send some chem to his base now. See if we can get the cat missile on the base. If we can get 2 chems, then we can kill the base. Oh, nice, we killed the buggy. Alright, so if we get 2 chems and some clouds, we should kill the base instantly with a cat missile, hopefully. It does like 50%. Not quite, but very close. Let's just spam Banshees at his base. Should be able to finish it off before the game ends. Very nice. Alright. Nice. And that is why, that's one of the main reasons to play chems. You get this additional out of being able to blow up someone's base. Alright, substance. This guy normally plays snipers, like Sniper Dog.
3, 2, 1. New objective available. Ready to serve. Building online.
Alright, so let's go and scout. He opens dogs as predicted. Second dogs. A little weird that he went second dogs, to be honest. We're gonna go lasers here. Go lasers and bikes. There's the snipers. As expected. And we'll go for chems. So this deck is like really expensive and mid-rangey, so it's really difficult to win first missile against cheaper units. But often if you do win first missile, you can just chem bomb their base. Alright, so we want to back up with this chem and get tanks. Tanks are a great answer to snipers. If you just spam, like normally snipers have to be protected by pit bulls, but you can just make a lot of tanks. Give me some more chems. And then we'll start killing the snipers with the tank. And we'll get some more chems here. Chems also take a really long time to die to the snipers. They're just a really good unit against them. There's an Orca, that's not good for me. Any lasers? Need wheels to go after that pad over there, really. Spikes fire at this. And then we'll shoot this. Then the chems over here. And we need the tank to kill this. The block can get on this top pad. Alright, so we take second missile. And now we'll try and get chems to his base. These chems are pretty low anyway, so they're not super high value units. And if we do manage to get them to the base, we can just nuke his base and win. Also, he's going for my harvester. Ah, he killed the chem warriors, which means we lose an explosion. That's annoying. Alright, we'll go Banshee for this Orca. Lasers for this one. Need more chems here pretty badly, and we'll get the tanks on his snipers. Alright, hopefully this cat missile is fast enough. No, not quite. Oh shit, I moved off the pad. Ah, fuck. Alright, misclicked there and moved off the pad and lost the game. Pretty tough matchup against snipers. Kind of shuts down the chems pretty well.
Mission failed.
That is one of the weaknesses of the chem deck. Everything's quite expensive in it, so it's difficult to make a lot of cheap units in the late game. And
Establishing battlefield control.
yeah, snipers are pretty good against this deck.
Objective received. Building on
Right, so let's open wheels. I'm gonna wait, see what he does. Right, let's go this tank. I'm gonna go lasers because he's gonna make a tank. Yep, there it is. And we'll make some chems because he's gonna make fanatics. Yep. Got chems on each pad. Chems in the tank there. Very cool. First missile to us. Take another Banshee for this tank. Chems take care of these lasers pretty quickly. I'm gonna get some more chems. I want lots more chems in this matchup. Phantom. Gonna keep making chems and lasers. Probably the hardest thing for him to deal with. This anti-infantry is mostly fanatics, which doesn't beat the chems. Alright, there you go. Cool.
You are victorious. Establishing battlefield control.
Substance again. What's the best way to gain credits on a daily basis? The best way to get credits on a daily basis is the bounties. Like finishing your bounties and just playing games, because I think you get like 50 credits per win now. Alright, so we'll open with the wheels again. We'll try and do something slightly different this time, because it didn't really work out last time. I'm going to go bikes to fight his... Oh, he went missiles first. Interesting. That's probably good for me, to be honest. But like I said, it was a little bit weak to missiles in the early game with the chem deck, because it costs 90 to get to the chems. What we're going to do is just going to make lots of wheels. Wow, he's gone triple missile. That's kind of insane. So we are going to need to go like into chems as quickly as possible. He's probably going to go snipers. Yes, that's fine. A little surprised he used the what's it called? The drone. The drone doesn't really do much for infantry. I don't know why I made bikes. I wanted to kill the drone, but it doesn't really matter. Like killing the drone is not a relevant thing, so that was a pretty big misplay. Probably gonna lose the missile because of that, honestly. Like it's gonna be really difficult for me to get back on this pad in time. Maybe though. Hang on. If he just lets me walk on, it'll be easier. Cool. So we flank his. Oh, that's why I got the bike, so make sure I could do that. So we flank the snipers with the cyber wheels, and then we just throw chems into the missiles. And chems are so tanky that it's really difficult for him to kill them before the missile fires. All right, nice. I'm actually gonna go and try and chem bomb his base here. Alright, nice. We good damage to his base. We're now in a position to try and finish it with random attacks, which is nice. Like, it's really low. If we just throw some... If we get some bike hits on it... we get some bike hits on it, and then we just cat missile it again, it should go down. So I think my opponent made a pretty big error by opening with the missiles, to be honest with you. Like, that's just a much easier thing for me to deal with than if he opens into the war factory. Alright, well, let's see if we can win the second missile. If we lose this missile, we'll go all out on the base. But we're in reasonably good shape to take it, so... get on the pad, get on the pad. Okay, that's done. The tanks. Uh-oh, get on the pad. Oh, it was close. Alright, we just take the second missile, cool. If we had lost that, we could just cat missile his base and probably win the game. So, it wouldn't really have mattered too much, but yeah. Cool. 1-1 against Substance.
3, 2, 1. New mission received. For the crystals.
Alright, Substance again.
Unit ready.
Open missiles this time. I think is better for me, honestly. Although this map, it's awkward. This is a much better sniper map than the ones we played on before. He should be charging the missile, I think. His deck is so much better in the early game.
Building online. Unit offline. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Unit offline.
I'm gonna make bikes for these pit bulls. We need cheap answers so we can afford to make more chems. Yeah, really good sniper map because he can just park snipers there for the entire game. I think I need to go into tank spam. Annoying. Oh, it lived because of the drone. Oh, it's super tilting. Alright, we're in trouble now. Such a good sniper map, man. We should be on the lookout for like a drone or something. Gonna snipe the last pad. Walker, unfortunate. There's the drone. Make sure we don't lose to it. Alright, looks like we pushed him back. Just spamming air is not as efficient as ground units generally. Okay, take second missile, that's really nice. Oh, I didn't kill the Talon, whoops. Get some chems. The later the game goes, the better it is for me, because my units are generally more expensive than his, and more powerful. I'm more of a mid-range deck, really. Yeah, this is looking pretty good for me now. He moved everything back and then the cat missile missed anyway. Alright, this is a lot of air and we don't have that much anti-air right now, so this is really not looking great. I need to lose these tanks pretty badly. Oh, I didn't mean to build chems. Oh my god, that's gonna hurt so much. Oh, it's really bad. I need bikes. Yeah, I cocked this up. That might be game. It's gonna be hard to say. He hasn't killed this tank yet, so that's good. Oh, hang on. He might steal it. Oh shit. Oh, he conceded. Alright! I mean, we were gonna win, but yeah. I think we had that locked up because we were going.
New objective available. Harvester moving. Building online.
I don't know, man. I don't think it's fair to say the entire alliance likes one thing. That's like saying all. That's exactly what they do. They're like all of Terminus Shores plays Def aggro, which just isn't true. Like, yeah, a lot of our top ranked players do, but that's because it's a really good deck. Who said Chuggy is useless? The Midnight Nation and Big Boss, I think. Well, like Chuggy's one of the worst units in the game.
Unit ready. Yeah, let's gas him. Let's gas him.
Forgot I was trying to do video. This would have been a good opponent to have it for, like decent levels and stuff. That's too late now. I've already spent a bunch of time chatting about nothing.
Building online. Unit offline. Unit ready. Unit offline. Unit offline. Unit ready. Let's go. Ready advancing. Here he comes. Let's get unit ready. Let's get missile launched. Unit offline.
I thought White's won on defense against Banshees. Did I make that up?
Unit offline. Unit ready. Let's gas him. Take a deep breath. Chems ready to laser squad. Taking position.
Harvester! Oh, he's not going Harvester. Alright. I really likes Venoms. Holy shit.
Unit offline.
Burning rubber.
Holy shit, man! You got a Venoms?
Unit offline. Unit offline. Unit ready. Unit offline. Unit offline.
Advancing.
Take a deep breath. Let's gas him. Take a deep breath. Let's take position. Catalyst missile incoming. Unit offline. Unit ready.
Rolling out.
Unit ready.
That's so many Banshees. Holy crap.
Unit offline.
Launches with Striker ready to missile. Smash him. Launches for Kane. You're gonna brain him.
Unit offline.
This is kind of, I feel like maybe this is too strong. The fact you can just make like a billion Venoms and Banshees.
Cancel.
You're gonna brain him.
Unit offline. Unit offline. Missile cancel.
Like that's all he makes. That's all he's making, and it's like pretty difficult for me to kill. It's kind of insane.
Burning.
I think that combo is just too strong right now.
Unit ready. Unit offline. Unit ready.
I think it's just Venom actually. I think Venom is too strong. I think Banshee's like, well, maybe Banshee's too strong now. I think Venom's like definitely too strong though.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit offline.
Striker rolling out. Getting better.
Unit offline.
Let's gas up.
Plasma cannons. are victorious.